لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور انفسنا ومن سيئات اعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ويضلل فلا هادي له واشهد ان لا اله الا الله واشهد ان محمدا رسول الله. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my brothers and sisters, Sunnahfollowers, and everybody watching us in social media and all over the world, alhamdulillah. Brother Mohammed, just came to the house and we discussed a very important topic here. Brother and sister, today, 4 of Sha'ban. That's been 3 weeks, exactly 3 weeks, Ramadan is coming. And we live in America. And the majority of our kids, 99.9% of our kids go into public school. And the kids actually fasting, alhamdulillah, may Allah guide our kids. At the same time, a lot of kids struggle. I just discussed with Brother Mohammed, me and a sheikh, we understand halal, haram can answer. You know what Ramadan? Allah شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن. So Ramadan, we have to fast for the whole entire month, 29 days or 30 days. But our kids go to school and struggle a lot.
It's a big struggle up there.
Plus, I know some kids actually, they fast, they suhoor with their parents, but they go outside.
And they break their fast.
Why? Because
there's reasons, and here's I think one of the biggest reasons that I've noticed, and talking to a lot of the 9th graders, 10th graders, 11th graders, is that they're embarrassed.
Embarrassed of what?
It's that embarrassed of like having to answer these questions.
Wow.
And here's when I talk to the kids, and this is what I was going to tell the kids, because I'm going to go to the schools soon, inshallah, and get them ready for Ramadan and start talking to the middle school kids, especially the 8th graders. This right now is the year. Right now, this is the year to like really do the da'wah, right? If you're in high school and you're going to high school and you're in college, right now is the time, because we have like a very good standing in the whole world because of what's happening overseas. People want to learn, people want to understand, people they're going to ask questions. So now is the time, and this is one of the things I'm going to tell the kids in school next week, is that right now we can capitalize on this good footing that we have as Muslims, because now everybody sees the social media lies, the media, the CNN, Fox News, all those lies about Muslims, and Muslims are terrorists, and Muslims are this, and Muslims are that. Now it's time to really educate our kids to, when you go to the schools and you have to talk about Ramadan, that's how you can really just explain what Islam is all about. But I think our kids don't really know how to answer the questions, right? And one of the main questions, even till now, that I get, and I tell the kids all the time, you can't drink water for 30 days? That's the question you get, right?
Yeah.
These kids go to the schools and like, oh, you're going to dehydrate. You're going to die if you don't drink water for 30 days. That's stupid. Why would any religion make you do this?
Oh my, yes.
Right. So the kids get they get nervous, they get the anxiety. Well, how do I explain? How do I answer these questions? And I think one of the things that our imams don't do really too well of a job, especially in their Friday lectures, when you have the kids there, if you have the children out there, is and even the parents, explain, when you're giving a lecture, give ways of explaining things to the people outside. Right, so one of the things I tell the kids is, no, you have to educate the people. No, we just fast. No food, no drinks for 30 days from sunrise to sunset. You explain. No, we would never. And God doesn't tell you, and you explain to the kids how to really answer these questions. Give them the confidence that they need, so when they go out into that real world, they'll be able to answer the questions. And a lot of kids say, well, if my friends don't see me eating, they're going to ask me, why am I not eating? If I'm not doing everything my friends are doing, then they're going to ask me a bunch of questions.
So you just mentioned something important, as the imams. Mm-hmm. I know, brother and sister, some imams watching us, barely actually, me as an imam, for example, the view come to me is a fatwa. Halal, haram, this is about Ramadan, this.
Yeah.
But I didn't have actually the knowledge scientifically about the Ramadan. I know there's a lot of science.
There's a lot of science, and there's a lot of medical advice that talks about fasting.
Yes,
If you fast for 30 days, you can clean your stem cells, you regenerate your healing process. There's a lot of science to it. And so I use that type of talk with the kids as well. I said, well, the Prophet told us, told us how many years ago to fast. And now the doctors are catching up to the science behind it.
Yes.
Right? And so I explain these things to the kids so they can kind of have a better, and it's funny because I'll see the kids in 8th grade that I've talked to, 8th grade, 2 years down the road or 3, because my son now, he goes to those schools that they were going to, and they'll say, brother, I use that example that you told us in school about the fasting and how it cleans your stem cells.
I like that.
I said, okay, alhamdulillah.
So we need an advice here.
So
for our parents to teach the kids how about this kind of science.
And look, I'm not a scientist.
I understand.
I'm not a scientist. I'm not an imam. I'm not a sheikh. I'm not anybody like up there.
But you have experience in non-Islamic roles.
I have experience in understanding how to talk to the youth at a level of their understanding.
Yes.
Right.
I need the parents watching us.
And I don't know your kids. I don't know people's kids. You know your kids better than I do. But what you have to understand is, what does your kid, how would your kid understand something? There's left brain kids, right brain kids, kids that understand through creativity and math, kids that understand through reading and, and examples. There's different types of kids. You know your kid better than anybody else is going to know your kid.
Indeed.
So how would you explain to your kid, right? And so when I get into these classrooms or when I get into the groups with the kids, I kind of gauge their understanding, right? When I'm talking, if I see a kid like just kind of dozing off or looking around, okay, he doesn't understand what I'm saying. So let me kind of go a little bit lower, and he'll, okay, yeah, now I understand. Okay, what if I tell a 6th grader or a 5th grader about stem cells and how it's going to regenerate your stem cells? It's not going to work. They're not going to understand this stuff. Yeah, they're like, what is a stem cell, brother? And then I have to explain, let me Google stem cells so I can understand what I'm saying. No, so I understand as a younger kid, the younger generation, or the younger age groups, I'm not going to explain it in a scientific understanding. I'm going to say it in a way of, it builds your self-esteem, it builds your endurance, and so it makes you run faster, it makes you stronger, it makes you faster, it makes your brain work harder, it helps you, and it makes you smarter, and they understand that kind of knowledge. Oh, if I fast for 30 days, I'm going to get smarter? Yeah, it's going to help you get smarter. But I don't have to tell them that it's going to clean the stem cells. Yeah. It's going to regenerate some of your brain cells. I don't have to explain that stuff to a 5th grader, but it'll help you. It's going to help you. Why? How's it going to help you? Well, it's going to help you. What if something happens one day and we don't have water for a whole day? Well, now you're ready to go and be thirsty, because now you can tell everybody, well, I fasted for 30 days. I can go without water for a couple hours. I know how to deal with it. And that's what Ramadan does. And that's how I tell the kids. It builds your, it builds your endurance when there's lack of food, lack of water. That's as a younger age group. As the kids get older, you explain different reasons why. Right?
In fact, in Ramadan, we eat even more. We eat more in Ramadan. Number one. Number two, for example, we go to the masjid. Mm-hmm. A lot of rice. A lot of meat, and they throw it away after.
Yeah. That's we should have a whole class.
Yes.
For the masjid to talk about how much food we throw away.
You know what? In California, one of the imams, I forgot his name. Actually, if you come to the masjid for iftar, there is no water. Bring your own cup.
And fill up.
Your own cup and your own plate.
Yeah.
Your own plate. No, otherwise, there is no food. That actually, and not only that, it will clean the area, number one. Because after that, a lot of garbage, you know that.
Yeah, of course.
Actually, subhanAllah, when Monday I'm fasting, so my blood, brother Mohammed, like this. Mm. The moment in iftar I eat, boom, boom,
sugar goes up, everything goes up. Yeah.
Subhanallah. Yeah. Yesterday I was all day, we ate outside. Mm. And Allah is my witness. We ate. My blood was 320. That's why the key was just in the beginning. Very important, brother and sister. Everybody, halal, halal, halal. But whenever Allah said, halalan tayyibah. Tayyib, we're going to speak inshallah together about tayyib, we just spoke to brother Muhammad. But now we need this tayyib here with our kids, encourage our kids to have halal, yes, and tayyib. We'll give advice for our kids, to guide our kids to fast, not with force, with loving to fast.
You can't force. Like right now, like
Some parents.
And listen, we know, maybe our age group, you could force us, right? If you don't do this, I'm gonna, like there's that punishment aspect back in our days.
Yes.
But now our kids aren't built like the way we were built.
Absolutely.
Not built. I was not built the way you're built.
Then
that the generational gap is really what I think people don't really understand. When you have the imams that have been imams for 20 years, 25 years, and they keep saying the same lectures, and I go to the masjids and I see these imams and, oh brother, you just talked about this like a month ago. Oh, you just talked about this 2 months ago. Change it up a little bit. Understand your audience, right? When you have a holiday,
Allah,
right?
I love this statement.
So when you have a holiday and you know that the kids are not going to be in school, and you're the imam, and you know, hey, look, it's going to be, whatever holiday is Friday, or half a day school days, and you know the kids are home, and you know the dad's going to bring all their kids to the masjid. You know this is going to happen.
Yes.
And so you have your, piece of paper with your lecture that you're going to talk about, right? Because I see some of the imams, they carry a piece of paper, or they have their phones in their hands, and they're reading from the phone. And if you know this is going to happen, change up your lecture. Change it up to understand, okay, well, I'm going to have probably 300 kids in here today. Not just 300 parents or 300 dads in this masjid or 300 moms. I'm going to also have a bunch of kids. Let me have a way of engaging all of my audience.
I like that, yeah.
At the same time. I know when I'm talking, I got a couple of presentations at different schools. I know I'm going to go talk to a 5th grade level. I'm going to engage at a 5th grade level. When I'm going to the other school and I'm going to talk to 9th graders, I'm going to talk and engage at a 9th grade level. When I go to the YMCA and talk, like last week, and I was told it was going to be middle school kids and high school kids. Oh. Okay, perfect. I have my mind already as I'm driving there what I'm going to say. But when I got there, it was elementary school kids.
Oh.
And so in my head I said, okay, let me change the way I was going to say something.
Revise.
Right? Change the talk, because I was talking about internet safety and the things that I was going to talk about with the high school kids, TikTok, Instagram, stuff like that. Now I have elementary school kids. These kids watch YouTube videos. They watch, they play Roblox. There's different games, different things. And then I had to change my mindset, my way of engaging with those kids. So I said, instead of talking about TikTok with these kids, because they probably don't use TikTok, they're still young, I said, oh, let me talk to you guys about YouTube. Did you know that if you do this, and they can turn on your cameras, and and I made the jokes, and I'm like, so they understood the conversation. Imams have to do that same thing.
It's supposed to. I agree with you.
They're supposed to. And listen, I remember you said that there's trainings for imams. They go to like a seminars and stuff like that. And it's not like, it's not rocket science. Right? It's not really difficult to really understand. You have the knowledge as an imam. You have the knowledge of the deen, of the mashallah of Islam, better than anybody else in that community. That's why you're the imam.
Allah knows best.
Allah knows best. But that's the reason why.
Yes.
Right? So, okay, you have the knowledge. How can you, as an imam, engage the wide variety
I love that.
of people that are of your population that's going to be coming into your masjid, right? And so one of the things I try to do, especially in front of the teachers and in front of the Islamic teachers, anybody who's adults, watch the way I'm talking, listen to the way I'm talking, and watch the kids as they're listening. I tell that to all the non-Muslim schools, non-Islamic schools. I tell the guidance counselors, pay attention for me. There's 500 kids in here. I can't focus on everybody, so I need you to watch. So if you see a kid who's dozing off or who's not paying attention, just do a little thing for me so I can, boom, let me catch that kid real quick. And when you do that, everybody's paying attention. Because I say it out loud. Hey, I have the guidance counselor they're gonna watch over you guys. If you're not paying attention, I'm gonna call you out. And nobody wants to get called out.
Don't get attention.
So they're gonna give you the attention. They're
Yeah.
oh no, don't put me on the spot. Don't. And so that's my way. That's my technique.
Yeah.
And I do things in a
But the
joking
Imam
way.
is not this, Brother
The Imam
Muhammad.
can't do that. So the Imam has to figure out a way. Okay, well I
But-
can't single a person out, but I'm gonna watch.
But us, you have, there is some imams, but the other imams, why you think? Why? And whoever listen to us, why the imam cannot do what Brother Muhammad said?
Well, because you can't. Good.
No, I need answer for you.
Oh, I thought you were
What
going
do
to
you
do the
think?
Imam.
I know the answer.
Okay.
I know the answer, but of course, your way different my way. Yeah.
So we don't, as an Imam, you're not going to stand on the member and say, hey, brother, you're not going to say
Of course.
that. So
Yeah.
what your responsibility is on the member, you see 10 people on the wall sleeping, you're doing something wrong, right? And so raise your voice, engage, you
I do
wake them
that.
up, right?
I do that.
I know you do.
I do
You
that, yeah.
You do, but there's some Imams that will just lecture on in the monotone, very boring, very.
Yeah, for example, someone actually will come to the masjid, his ring khutbah Jum'ah, and his phone ring. And what I did, I stopped. Okay, I stopped. Answer the phone, brother, to continue khutbah Jum'ah. Answer the phone. So everybody looking.
Yeah.
And everybody turned their phone off.
Yeah, of course.
I teach one person,
You teach a whole group.
and then I said, brother, why me? I said, well, you are the listen.
Yeah.
That's my point, brother. Barely to see a board encouraging the imam to do that.
Because you have to remember who's on the boards.
This is the key.
And we have a problem with our board members where they're very stuck in the 1990s, 80s, 70s, 50s mindset where it's not like this anymore, right? And a lot of boards, I talked to a lot of board members where you're not engaging in the right way.
Nope.
You want to bring these kids to the masjids. You want to talk to these kids about Ramadan, about Eid, we only celebrate two things. We're in a society where they celebrate everything, right? We celebrate every single thing in this country, and these kids see that. And then what? You have to tell them, oh, we don't celebrate Christmas. Oh, we don't celebrate Easter. Oh, we don't celebrate. The kids get turned off.
It is something alternative.
So I try to explain to them, we have to do more to engage these kids and show them
Yes.
why Islam is Islam. Why be proud of what you're doing? Why be proud of praying 5 times a day, right? And because you get that question not by Muslims, by non-Muslims. Why do you guys pray so much? Right? You get that question all the time. So how do you, as an imam, how would you answer that question? Why do you pray? Why do you Muslims pray so much?
Me as an imam, because when you closer to Allah, as much 2 rak'ah, you closer to every day 17 days in Farida, and if we have a nafila, we have a sunnah, we have tahajjud, we do more. As much as we can ruku' and sujood, closer to Allah subhanahu. That's me as an imam.
Yeah, but as a non-Muslim guy, I would be falling asleep.
Yes.
So as a kid, explaining it to a child why we pray 5 times a day, they wouldn't understand that.
Yeah.
So as an imam, you would say, listen, you're going through a lot throughout your school day, throughout your work day. Even with the college kids, I tell them all the time, you're studying, you have to work, you have to go home, you have to drive. There's a lot going on as a student. 5 times a day prayer, it gives you that time to really catch up and really talk to your maker. Really talk to Allah and say, Allah, look, I'm going through a test tomorrow, or I'm going to take a test in a couple of hours. Can you please keep everything in my brain that I studied? You put your head to the
Exercise.
ground. You do it. You relax. It's a meditation. It's a concentration. It's a refocus. When I was in the courthouses and I stopped to pray because it's during prayer, they would go take their lunch breaks or whatever, and it's okay. Let me catch myself. Okay, Allah, I'm gonna have this next client coming through here. Let me be patient with this stuff. And I explain to the kids, this is what I do. This is how I did it. This is how this is how you explain to a child that's 10 years old or 12 years old. You gotta just stop and refocus.
Yes. In fact, one question. When I was in South Carolina, Imam, I left by the way. I left South Carolina. A lot of parents, I was school, but a lot of parents ask me, the kids cannot pray. Cannot pray. And I noticed actually our kids in the school barely to see one child pray right.
You know, it's funny you said that. We used to do that older kids class at the Pampa Masjid. And a lot of the kids come from Islamic schools. They went to Islamic schools, and they would come on a Saturday school to my teenager class, and a lot of them didn't know how to pray.
Yes.
And these kids were going to an Islamic school.
Yes, but the Imam here hard to teach the kids step by step. But what I did the kids another speaker was Salah. I said everyone you want to learn martial arts. I do karate, by the way. I do karate. Oh yeah. They love to have karate. By the way, karate, if you pray right, you'll be excellent karate fighter. Every movement in karate
is a prayer, is salah.
Every movement in karate is in salah.
Yeah.
Every salah is a karate movement. And I start to do karate, but in the movement of salah. And that's why the parents after that, they teach their parents to pray right.
But see what you did? You adapted.
But I had no choice.
But
yeah.
So that's what it takes. And right now we're at that level where we don't have a choice.
Oh, yeah.
We have to change the way we're presenting the deen to our kids.
Yes.
Right? And when you look at how the reverts see the deen and they love it, they have that passion for it, they because they chose it. Right? They chose Islam. They came to Islam, and you see that passion. Where's that passion in the imams?
Not all the imams.
Not all the imams.
I'm an imam here.
and I'm not singling out anybody. But there's like there's a big disconnect in the gap between the imam and the children.
But I need, brother, with all my respect, I agree with you. But the board, the community, the board is that, in my opinion, and I'm talking about South Florida here. No, South Florida. A lot of imams they would love to do, but the board stop. Oh no. This is the key. That's why.
You're asking a question that there's no real answer to, because you can't change people's personalities.
Yes.
At that level, right? Because there's always that stubbornness and that frustration that the people get when they try to talk to the board members.
We have a solution. Whoever listens to us right now in Sunnahfollowers and in social media in general, you have a job. Your job to carry this knowledge here from Brother Mohammed and spread it in your own community, in your own masjid. And do about the board. Do your best. Even one child, two children together, or youth, or whatever group of people, and do that. And step by step, you have something good for the people.
And I'm glad you said that, because I remember in Pennsylvania at one point there was a guy who was trying to teach kids archery.
Yeah.
How to, bow and arrow and stuff. And I know the board was against.
Oh yeah, unfortunately.
This, and we don't want to. But I'm like, hey, it's sunnah. They have to learn these things.
Yeah.
They should learn. And so the brother said, "Listen, I'm doing it for free. I'm not, I'm not gonna charge anybody. But I just want to educate these people. I need the hasanat." The board said no.
Yes, agree.
So what do? I said, take all the kids to the park. We don't need the masjid.
Please listen to this.
Listen
to this.
And then what happens?
Hold on, repeat it again, Brother Muhammad. It's very important. Listen, somebody going to teach the kids archery.
And then when the board said no.
And the board said no way, Jose. Actually, it happened to us here. And then what?
It's terrible, isn't it?
And then what?
And then we said, let's find a workaround. We're going to go to the park.
And then?
And then after 2 months, I think, or a month of doing it, the board said, okay, bring it here.
You have a solution. Do we have a solution?
Yeah.
Yes.
Solution. There's always, listen, it's all about being creative.
Yeah.
Right? And utilizing the resources that are in our communities. You can't, if you have something that you want to do with your kids, I know the board is 1, 5, 6 people, right? Or 7 people. But the community is hundreds of people on the board, on the community. So if all the people come together and say to these board members, we want to do this, they're going to change their mindset.
You have to repeat it again for the Ramadan. It's very important. Ramadan is coming soon. 3 weeks.
Yeah, Ramadan's coming up.
Again, repeat it again.
So when you have 5, 6 board members,
board members,
and you're not getting things done. You're not getting through them.
And then what?
You as the community,
As a
community, hundreds of you guys come together, and you go to the board and say, we're going to do this. As long as it's halal, and as long as it's good, and as long as it's going to benefit the community as a whole.
Agree.
You have to stand up and say, look, man, we do our money, we pay our zakats, we do what we got to do, we come here, this is our masjid. It's not a board's masjid. It's a people's masjid. It's a community's masjid.
Yes, that's an excellent idea. Go as a community, and the board can do anything.
We have to learn how to really kind of stand together on a lot of the issues that we feel that our kids need. And every community is different, right? Here we have different concerns, and maybe in Texas they have different concerns, in Ohio they have different concerns, maybe in France or whatever there's a lot of different concerns. So you have to know as a community what your main concerns are. And
Alhamdulillah, we have freedom here.
Alhamdulillah, we do.
Yeah.
We do.
And I mean, you have in the country, but not the board and the masjid.
But that's where you take advantage of the freedoms you have in this country.
Yeah.
You have the right to stand as a group of people and say, hey, look, we want to talk about mental health in this masjid. Because a lot of times the masjids don't want to even talk about mental health. We don't want to say the word depression or anxiety, because if you talk about it, it's going to happen here.
Yeah,
I've heard this. That's why I'm saying this.
I agree.
I've heard this, and I said, "Well,
I'm facing this in South Florida. I'm facing this right now. That's why, if you notice, only that masjid here. There, I don't want to do too much things.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But alhamdulillah, Sunnahfollowers here.
But that's sad.
Yes.
You have to stop yourself from doing certain things because you don't want to, and that's not the way.
Well, I agree.
When you have people in your community that are professionals at certain things, professional imam, a professional, a doctor, or a professional mental health person, when you have in your own community these professional people, and as long as they're willing to get up there and share their knowledge and explain things, we have these groups here that we have people that come and talk and educate us on certain things. Why are we not taking advantage of that? I know 100% that there's Muslim guys and girls and men and women out there that are willing to go to a masjid and talk and present about whatever profession they have for free. Because we all as Muslims want to get hasanat. We all as Muslims want to get the good deeds.
Yes.
So when you go to a board and you say, hey, look, man, I have a expertise in depression and anxiety and suicide. And I think we should talk about this. And then you have that old school mindset of the board members, the 5 or 6 board members that say, hey, no.
Yes.
We're not going to talk about that. No, astaghfirullah. We don't want that in here, because if you say the word depression, then everybody here is going to become depressed.
Yes. I'm facing this. Yeah.
But then you go back to your communities, and the Muslim community can say to the board members, hey, look, we have a problem in this society. Our kids are depressed. And this brother is talking to us, and he's telling us he wants to present, and you're saying no. So if 6 board members get hit by 100 community members saying they want this.
Yes, yeah.
Guess what's going to happen? They're going to change their tune.
This is excellent point, brother and sister. It's very important. The board, by the way, is not God. Astaghfirullah. A human being.
They're just humans.
And they came actually to be on the board. And their job, United States of America, Trump, his job to serve us. The cabinet with him, whoever choose, I know the corrupted people, but still me as I have a vote, then they have to change the system because of us, not me, us.
But then we forget that there's power in numbers.
Yes.
Right? And so when you as a community come to your masjid and you guys say, look, we have this beautiful masjid, how come we're not utilizing it to its full potential? We should be doing every week talks. We should be doing, we have a lot of land back there. We should be doing archery back there. We have a brother here who's a professional karate fighter, and he wants to teach our kids karate. If you have that community where you have professionals in different areas, as a board, and don't get me wrong, not all board members are the same.
No,
because I spoke to the younger guys and a lot of the board members who are my age and younger. And they'll tell me, brother, my hands are tied. I can't do anything. Every time I come up with a new plan, they say no to me.
I agree 100%.
And so you have those, and I kind of call them like charity cases. They'll put a younger person on the board just so they can say they have a young guy
Yeah.
on the board. But whenever the young guy talks,
They left.
they
And imagine you're talking about, they left.
Yeah.
The youth, they left.
They left.
They are on the board. They elected.
They left.
They left.
because they know.
They bring an old man that more corrupted.
And,
Oh
and,
my-
see, and I don't. Let's be careful with, you know, there's power in words, and I don't know. I don't want to say the word corrupted because, you know, we don't want to say that they're
Yeah.
stealing money or
No. Actually, they donate.
they donate
They donate a lot of
a
money.
lot of money.
No, they know it. No question.
And-
I know generous also.
Yeah,
But unfortunately, the Islamic knowledge, how to deal with the community is hard.
it is. And when you have an imam who is strong in his knowledge and very capable of presenting the Islamic ideas in a nice way, being able to adapt to the younger population, middle population, older population, when you have an imam like that, because I've seen imams who are very good at like kind of reading the room and seeing who they're presenting from, who they're talking to, and who they're engaging with. And then you as a board tie their hands behind their back. Don't say this, and don't talk about that, and don't. When you're missing out on a lot of knowledge.
Agree?
You're missing out on a lot of engagement. We have to, and I know the boards are afraid. Well, if you say this, there's a possibility that we might get in trouble. If you say that, we're going to have people against us. How do we fix this?
Believe me, the imam with knowledge, easy. I am facing this. You know, some masajid, for example, I'm not going to mention the state. One state, actually.
We're gonna leave it broad so
Yeah,
nobody
exactly.
gets...
Two states, actually, not in Florida. I went for interview, and they give me what salary 150,000, and the other one 120,000
Wow.
a year. One told me, but do not speak about riba, usury. I said, excuse me, I have a PhD in Sharia, Islamic law, but don't speak about riba. You know what I did? Oh, okay, I see you tomorrow. I left.
Never come back.
I never came back. Second, masjid speak about something else. Don't just speak about gays and lesbian and this and that. I left. Why? The key, if the masjid controlled by the board and the board have no knowledge, you have to stop. But do not give up.
Yeah, you
As
can't give up.
Brother Mohammed said, very important. A group of people can change everything, the whole masjid.
I think the problem that we have, a lot of problems that we have, is when a group of people don't like what happens in that masjid, they say, "Oh, I'm done. I'm going to go open up my own masjid."
It happened.
How many times have you seen that happen?
My masjid,
Right here.
Less than half a mile.
Yeah.
I feel in New York, I was supposed to make fundraising, and I found out at a wall between masjid and masjid, a wall. They are brothers.
Wow.
The key, brother, yes, you can make a lot of changes. And wallahi, this is a beautiful statement, Brother Muhammad said. If you are together, you can face any board.
There's a lot of strength in that.
And the key, do not give up.
Don't give up.
Be optimistic. Yes, we can do it. Be optimistic. خليكم متفائلين.
When you and I always tell the kids, and I always tell parents as well, when you're going to a board and when you're talking to a board, you don't come with anger or malice or you guys are doing this and you guys are doing this wrong, and you don't engage them like this, because that's gonna just create more back and forth, more heat, more punching, more fighting, more animosity. Okay, you don't want to do this, then the guy found a solution. Let's go do what we want to do, and we can go take a public park.
Yeah, but inshallah. But now the kids, now Ramadan is coming, and now actually, as you know, the new election, Trump did an excellent job. We are only male and female, but the kids actually, number one, Ramadan is coming after 3 weeks. Number two, the kids going to public school, most likely public school. We want our kids to save our kids to fast in a nice way. I know the kids sometimes struggling with that. All of our kids have a cell phone. I just mentioned the music, right?
Yeah.
The music. Yeah. What is the solution?
And when we talk about
the music, for example,
the music.
Our kids here are addicted to music.
Yeah, and that's we can do a whole lecture, and we'll make it into a small thing.
Yeah.
The music aspect, and that's kind of what I do during Ramadan. I tell the kids, this is a challenge. This is a game. Let's make Ramadan into a game. Right, I'm going to challenge you guys this Ramadan to fast. Yes, we all have to fast. No food, no drinks. I get it. I said the next challenge is let's get away from the music. Try 1 month where you're scrolling online or you're playing your video games but with no music. Because there's a way of, in the settings you can turn off the music in the games and stuff. Oh, brother, everything has music.
Yes.
Well, let's try shut it off. Try shutting it off.
But the music, I'm not going to say halal and haram here, but saying it hurting the person with the music.
There's a lot of I try to explain to them the tones and the way the music beats and all this stuff. And when I did the class in the Jam for the teenagers, I showed them the video of how music was incorporated, how the shaitan kind of got the music going and in the society, and how it made the people sway their bodies, how it made them do certain things. I said, think about it. From back then, when music was created, to the way music is created now, you're still doing the same thing. From back then, when the shaitan invented, when the shaitan created it, when the shaitan made it happen.
Music, yes.
Till that, from then, with just regular flutes and drums, to where we're at now, it's still the same technique of controlling, of poisoning, of making you kind of like stay away from the necessities of what you're supposed to be doing, right? Which is praying 5 times a day, which is maybe doing Ramadan on a clear conscience, on a clear note. I always tell the kids, use this month to challenge yourself, right? And I use myself as an example. When I worked in the jails and stuff, I always during Ramadan, the inmates would say, "Oh, guys, Mohammed, it's Ramadan. He's not cursing today." Right? And I'm going to use Ramadan as my way of not cursing anymore to you guys. I'm not going to talk like that. I'm done. And Ramadan would be my springboard to stop that.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's kind of like it works. Right? And I always tell them, what are you addicted to? Right? I tell the kids, what's your biggest addictions? And of course, what's the majority of the kids saying? Their phones and their iPads.
Yes.
Right? And so I tell them, hey, let's give it a rest for a month. Don't make your mom and dad tell you to turn off your phones and your iPads. You turn off your phones and your iPads and see what happens.
Do you think kids can do that?
They tell me, because I go during Ramadan, I talk to them, right before school finishes, because I think they get the last 10 days off of Ramadan, and I'll go right before they stop and we'll talk. What have you guys done in these 2 weeks of Ramadan? What's changed? Well, I'm reading more Quran, and I'm actually drawing my prayers. And they tell you, listen, I haven't stopped using my phone, but I stopped more. Like I stopped less. I stopped using my phone so much, or I stopped using my iPad so much. And okay, good, alhamdulillah, mashallah. But then here's the problem. You talk to the kids, but I don't have a chance to talk to the parents.
The parents.
So one of the things I want to tell the parents is, you have to help the kids with those goals. You substitute it, right? Okay, come on, let's help me make the dinner. Help me make this. Help me in the kitchen. Help me. There's things of making your kids kind of, hey, turn it off for a second. Come help me real quick. And then 1 second becomes 30 minutes. 30 minutes becomes 1 hour. And guess what? You just spent an hour with your kid without him or her on that tablet.
I mean, if the parents here was watching us right now, Brother Muhammad, okay, and the parents telling the kids, I want you to stop your cell phone, your iPad, your social media for 1 hour, turn it off completely. Can we do that?
You got to fill it up with something.
Oh, I like that.
You got to fill up the time. Remember, these kids are very their attention span is very low, very quick. You got to be really ready to fill that time up. And I think recently we've just started watching the videos on I think it's a Keen Institute, where every day they have a 5-minute video or a 10-minute video about angels.
Last year.
Yeah. Every Ramadan they do something else. So we fill that time up with that. We put it on the TV and we sit down, and before you eat or before whatever, and we sit down as a family. We watch, we listen, we talk about it, and we learn.
The good news also in Ramadan, the family have iftar every day.
Well, we have no choice.
Yes.
So you're forced to be together for that time. So that's when you can really make a change.
But some kids, it's very hard to get up for suhoor.
But you have to enforce it. You have to push them. You have to teach them because like
Force it.
yeah, well, not just force it, but you have to push it. Make it fun. Make it
Fun.
You got, and it sucks because it's not fun. As an adult, it's not fun. You know, we have to wake up. We have to drink our coffee. We have to pray. It's not fun. So if you're not having fun, if you're not feeling it, right? As a parent, if you're not feeling it, the kids are gonna feel that you're not feeling it. You know what I mean? Like you have to push that excitement, that love for it onto the kids so they can feel that excitement about it, right? And for like Eid or Ramadan or whatever, you know, when we decorate the house, we make things, you know, we make things interesting, make things fun.
No. This is a very excellent point here, brother. In Ramadan, actually, make like a decoration, like doing on the Christmas. They do
Yeah, but we don't put Christmas trees.
I think that's
No Ramadan trees.
No, not trees.
Yeah.
I mean, we can do a moon, a cross, and something.
Yeah.
Even my wife should do that. We don't have babies. Younger ones is Umar, but we have here in the beginning of Ramadan, we have the crescent, we have the moon, got beautiful things and candle here and there.
Yeah.
That's like we have. Yeah, it's good to have this.
Yeah, you have to. I mean,
To feel it's Ramadan.
exactly.
Yeah.
If you go to the blad, and you have Ramadan in the blad, how is it over there?
Yeah. In the Jannah.
Come on, I mean,
The best Ramadan in my life. 2 years ago I was in Gaza. Now destroyed.
yeah.
The masjid I was there,
Allah.
every salah there, and the whole city is a Eid.
So and that's what I think we have to try to capture down here. You know, we can't ask, you know, Publix and Macy's or all these people to, can you decorate for Ramadan for us because we're Muslim? We can't ask those stores to do these things, but what we can do is ask people who are Muslims in their homes to put a little bit of
Yes.
of excitement in your houses. Go to
It's
your
very
masjids.
important.
Ask the masjids, can we decorate for Eid?
Some masajid do that.
Some masajid do that.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, you know, but if you're a masjid that has 7 days a week iftar dinners, put stuff up. Make it like, you know, exciting for the kids. Make it fun. And I know a lot of the Islamic schools, they try to instill that. They try to put that. They have the Kaaba. They make certain things. They do, you know, they do decorations. And it's
Some. Even in Ramadan, in Eid, al-Adha, they bring the kids make like a Hajj and Kaaba. They're beautiful. But everybody to attach Ramadan is because it's not 1 day, 3 days. Eid al-Adha, 3 days. But this is 1 day Eid, but with the whole entire month Eid.
And that's, I think we forget that it's a whole month of celebration. It's
Yes.
not just after we're done, it's one celebration. And I think you know, there's ways, and I think that's also the power of social media. You can look at what other people are doing for their Eids and for Ramadans. You can watch, I mean, social media is not all bad.
Yeah.
You can learn different things on social media and utilize that stuff for your own home. If you think your kids can benefit from something that you saw online, then do it. Try it.
I'm thinking actually, Sister Layla, if you listen to this, very important, who is not listening, Sister Nafisa there, if Sunnah followers, actually kids, do something in Ramadan, and maybe Sunday we'll see actually the houses, every house you have a decoration, and we'll watch this house in what kind of decoration they have. Encourage our kids to have this, and competition with this house and this house, many houses in Sunnah followers, and we did like a competition about Ramadan.
You can do something like that, because honestly, when we started doing stuff like this, we started seeing, other Muslims who would see us doing it. Oh, they did this, so let's do this.
Yeah. Oh, yes, I love that.
And it's not like it's not. You're saying competition, but it's not a competition, but it's a good idea.
Yeah. Of course, brother, is some people. By the way, some people. Oh, that tabdhir, the waste and waste and waste. Believe it or not, we waste more than anything. I know it's not the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. No, but hold on. In Medina Munawwara, the kids of the Sahaba, the companion, they are fasting, but their mom, they do some horse with a toy, a doll. Even Aisha, they have a dolls, they have a horse. Aisha, our mother, she have toys. So no problem actually with that. Somebody says, no, haram. This is not haram. Do that celebrate the beautiful month of Ramadan, inshallah.
Inshallah. And when you do stuff like this, when you incorporate a little bit of excitement into Ramadan, you're giving the kids you're empowering the kids to be more proud of being a Muslim.
Yes.
And so they're going to take that to school. And so when they start asking, when the kids in school start asking the questions to the kids of Ramadan, why are you fasting? What kind of religion tells you that you can't eat or drink for 30 days? What kind of religion would put you through this stress? The kids now can answer because you're spending time with the kids, because you're educating the kids.
I love
because
this idea. It's very important idea. Beautiful.
Yeah, when you have that conversations with the kids and they're seeing it and they're listening to you, you're empowering that kid now to go to school, to the non-Muslim school, and say, no, let me explain to you about Ramadan. Ramadan tells you to not eat or drink for 30 days only from when the sun comes up to the sun goes down. But let me tell you, when the sun goes down, oh brother, we're eating and drinking all day long. We're having fun. We're laughing with the family. A lot of times, these kids talk to these other kids about Ramadan. And when you say something like, "Oh, I'm eating dinner with my family," ask yourself how many of these kids that are in the non-Islamic schools go eat with their families.
Yes. Yeah. But mashallah, our Bambu here, for example, after Taraweeh, they go for basketball and soccer.
Yeah.
Beautiful, yeah.
Oh, the masjid is packed.
Yeah, packed. Plus, now they have activities. Yeah. And the sister activity, they had activities, actually with a tennis ball with the sister. No, by the way, no problem with the sister, but the sister only to play together. There is no men watching. No problem with that.
Of course.
Yeah. So, to make Ramadan, inshallah, this Ramadan, especially we're going, as brother mentioned, in Gaza. In Gaza, unfortunately, last Ramadan, there is no Ramadan. War, 1,000 people got killed in Ramadan. At least we have, alhamdulillah, we have a stable life here.
We have, what I tell people is we have first world problems. That's what we have.
Yes.
We have first world problems. How do we explain this? How do we talk about that? Well, they have real, third world problems. How could we stay alive?
Exactly, yeah.
So when you compare the two, our problems aren't so big. But, and something that I always try to explain to the parents is that if we don't stand together as an ummah, as one person, they're going to keep doing this to us.
Yes.
We're going to fall apart.
Yes, if we're not united.
If we're not united. And so it starts in your masjid.
Exactly.
Right? It starts in your family, and your family starts in the masjid, and it starts with the community. And and I noticed this too, once one masjid starts doing something, and the other masjids see how it works, hey, how did you do that? Can we take a blueprint of what you are doing in your masjid so we can do it in our masjid?
Some people do that. Yeah. I love that. Hold on, brother. Just a beautiful thing. Brother Mohammed is about the masjid. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he stayed in Mecca 13 years and he ran away to Medina. And what he did, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, number one, he built a masjid now at a center, not masjid, a center teaching and salah and war. That is small masjid in Medina al-Munawwara, the Islam reached United States of America. That Russia, that China, that Malaysia, and Indonesia, and India, the whole entire world, small masjid.
And that was before the internet.
Yeah, right? Before the internet.
And you see how much power Islam is when you're united. Without the internet, imagine with the internet.
Then we have to be optimistic.
Yeah, of course.
You have to be optimistic. We can do. We can do the impossible mission to make our masajid best of the masajid.
Yeah.
And regardless, some people negative, but there is something positive.
There is some, and here's the thing with negative. When you have we make a joke, negative Nancy, right? There are people who are negative and they're always, oh, we can't do this, or you can't do that, or you can't. Once they see things happening, and they see it's working, and they see the kids coming, and they see the parents happy, and they see the masjids filled up, and they see the zakat coming in, and they see all the positive stuff of it, that's how you change a person's mindset.
Yes.
And when you do that, that person who is negative the whole time will be your number one cheerleader. I
love that.
And when you're a strong person, when you're a strong individual, and you can admit it, hey, look, I was wrong. I thought bad of this, and you showed me that it's right. So I'm going to give you the credit that you deserve, I should have listened to you.
This is very important. Prophet Muhammad said, he said, كل ابن آدم خطاء. The best, كل ابن آدم. If the son, all the son of Adams make mistakes, the best, خير الخطائين, the best sinner, do make tawbah. Go back and fix the problem.
But that's the problem. Another problem, I guess, for another time.
Yes.
is the pride, right? Is the pride that I can't admit that I did something wrong. I can't admit that I was wrong.
Me myself, if I make mistake, I would admit it. Even khutbah al-Jum'ah, I go, I make our wrong, and somebody.
I remember you said something in one of the lectures. You said, "Oh, last time I was here, I said, and you fixed it."
Yeah, fix it. I don't fight. Why? Because there's two angels writing everything, and Allah shahid. Allah is a witness. Allah knows if I fix it right now, over there.
Yeah, He'll fix it. There.
I had no choice.
Yeah.
We have we have time. We have time. Now, before inshallah, another 4 minutes before the question and answer. Prepare your question and answer, sister, brother. They're really, brother. Ramadan, inshallah, soon going to come here, and also we need some activities for the kids. The kids make activities in household activities. And in the masjid activity, the good masjid. But in household activities, how?
It's
to be optimistic.
You have to get yourself as a parent excited for it. Like I wait for Ramadan. I'm excited about it. I can't, because I know that during Ramadan, okay, I'm going to clean myself out. I'm going to detox my body. That's in my own head. That's kind of how I perceive, and I get myself hyper for it. You talk to somebody else. And you tell them, oh, in 3 weeks I'm going to be fasting, and I'm not going to drink for 30 days, and or something. They're going to say, well, that's crazy. That's insane. What kind of person? How would you be excited for this? Oh, you don't realize there's the scientific proof that says. That's what you speak on the outside. On the inside, when you're talking to your kids, when you're bringing these things up, you start to go online, and you can find stuff online. It's very simple stuff online. And I think some of the stores now they sell Ramadan decorations and stuff like this. And you start to slowly, get one thing at a time. You got 3 weeks. Build that anticipation, right? Get that excitement going. Oh man, in 3 weeks we're going to be doing this. In 3 weeks we're going to. Let's plan our meals for the next 30 days. What are we going to eat? Wow. What are we going to do? What masjids are we going to go visit for iftar dinners? Where, look at now. I know and at least here in South Florida, there's about 2 different cities that do iftar dinners. For the Muslims.
Yes, yeah.
And it's non-Muslim people doing iftar dinners for Muslims. They're trying to build that relationship with the Muslim community.
Yeah.
So look these things up. Talk to your city people. Talk to your commissioners.
Very important.
Yeah.
These are commissioner, congressman, senator. You have to speak. Yeah.
You have to. We do it on a local level here, and if I wasn't in the position I'm in at my job, I wouldn't know these things. Because I wouldn't know to do the research and to look things up. So I tell the guys and tell the people, and I tell the people out there, look up your cities, look up your local municipalities, who your commissioners are, and see what kind of things they offer for Muslims. Because if you have a big population of Muslims in a city, like we have here, they're going to say, hey, look, let's do an iftar dinner here. Can you guys set it up? We don't know anything about this. We're not Muslims. Can you help us? And yes, of course. Well, let's teach you. Let's show you. Let's educate you on Ramadan. And guess what you're doing? You're getting the people ready. You're building the anticipation for your children. And you're doing da'wah at the same time.
No, yeah.
We call it undercover da'wah.
Undercover yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And you're giving knowledge out there without preaching. Right? We're not those people that knock on the doors and say, hey, you want to become a Muslim today? We don't do that. But you teach and you show. And then as the Ramadan gets closer, as the weeks get closer, we're 3 weeks out, start getting your kids ready, prepping them.
Prepare from now.
Get them educated.
Prepare now.
What are you going to talk to your kids? What are you going to tell your friends when they ask you about Ramadan? Why don't you drink? Why don't you eat? Because that's what they're going to do to you in the cafeteria.
Absolutely.
And I'm pretty sure, and I don't know, you can talk to your kids' schools. I'm pretty sure that if you go to the principal or if you go to the counselor, you can tell them, look, my kid is fasting for 30 days. If this is something your kid wants, can my kid stay in the classroom during lunchtime? Or can my kid do all his homework instead of going to the cafeteria? Can he stay here and do his homework?
Oh.
There's ways of doing this.
I love this idea.
There's ways of doing this if your kid is okay with that.
That's very... Oh. I love this idea. You have to encourage the kids, and instead to go to eat in the cafeteria, can write some. Yeah, I love that.
But again, for me, like I teach my kids to be strong and be confident. You're a Muslim, be happy. Alhamdulillah, you're good. Don't be afraid to not do what everybody else is doing, right? I tell the kids at the schools, when all the people are going left, we go right.
Yeah,
The right way,
right,
the right path, the right way. Follow the right.
May Allah make us among the right people.
Inshallah.
Brother and sister, by the way, in Ramadan I go to the gym. I go to the gym. Yeah, before I go to the gym, my wife and I will go to the gym. Why? Be ready to eat and for Taraweeh.
Yeah, of course, and you have to.
Finish inshallah.
We can't talk about Ramadan like it's Ramadan's coming up. Oh, we're gonna. You can't do that.
Don't be negative.
Don't be negative. Negative Nancy about that stuff. It's exciting. It's fun. It's we finally get the family time. We get to eat together. We get to have fun together. We bring people over our houses. We get to go to the masajid during the night. Like, it's exciting. And so if we're not building that excitement now, the kids aren't going to be ready for it.
Something very important here. His wife, I wish
she's watching, by the way, I think.
His wife, the best sweet she have ever. She have a company, by the way, in the company, sweet company. I wish she agree, if she listen to us, agree for us to have a recipe or some kind of food to look and can buy it from the company.
Inshallah.
Yeah, Ramadan is coming, and if she's watching, please, that's very important. And honestly, that's the best sweet ever. Plus a lot of Palestinian food.
You're gonna get me in trouble now. She's gonna say, "What the heck?"
All right, inshallah. May Allah Azza wa Jal make Ramadan the best Ramadan for all the Muslim Ummah, Ya Rab. May Allah have a peace and tranquility and make the best Ramadan. Ameen, Ya Rabbi. Ameen, Ameen. So if, any question before we finish? 2 minutes we are finishing. Sorry to make it long because this is a beautiful topic. Any question online? Sunnahfollowers first. Actually, in my website I cannot read. I think my son just texted me. I don't know what he said. You can speak, Omar. Any question?
I sent you a nasheed.
True? Sent you a what?
I sent him a nasheed.
Oh, nasheed. He sent you a nasheed.
Nasheed. Oh, okay. Nasheed. Brother, my son is the best one to send me nasheed. MashaAllah. But nasheed, you make me gonna fight. All right. Any more questions, inshallah?
What about the nasheed that have music in it?
It depends, inshallah. It depends, inshallah.
Well, we're gonna have to have a whole conversation about music and about the instruments they use, about the tones they put, about the.
Actually, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's a very important topic that I think the kids and the parents need to hear.
Okay.
Alhamdulillah, can I make a statement?
Sister Anisa, go ahead, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah. What you were talking about earlier, you brothers were talking about, when you're giving a lecture, like Sister Layla does, sometimes she comes to the Zoom room with a whole topic to deal with, and someone comes in, and now she changes the entire topic to be with the people that she needs to be with. So in the masjids, our imams need to know how to do that.
Yeah.
You need to read your audience so you know how to deal with them, how to talk with them, because all the time you can't stay on schedule.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say thank you for pointing that out.
I'm very